Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and back to another Ride With Me video. I hope you are all having a wonderful week. I am super excited for today's lesson. I've been waiting for it all day long. This is the last lesson that I'm gonna have for a little while. Lessons are canceled next week, so it's only gonna be a week, but that feels like way too long to not ride. This is literally what I look forward to every week. It is the highlight of my day. I have no idea who I'm riding yet, but let's go inside and let's find out. Okay guys, so today I have been assigned to ride Miss Pumpkin Pie, the spicy chestnut mare. She was already currently in another lesson, so I didn't have to do any grooming or tacking up as she was already in the arena. However, before I get on her, as per usual, I'm always going to double check my tack just to ensure that everything is fitting correctly. So I always start off with the bridle, making sure I can fit my fist under the throat latch and 2 fingers for the noseband. I am just checking my girth, making sure that they are tightened evenly. And after checking my stirrups, I am all ready to get on and start our ride. If you guys had seen my last video with Pumpkin, you would have known that I didn't have my best ride on her. There were a few things that I struggled with when riding her, and one of those was getting her into the corners and keeping her against the wall. She was also significantly bending her head in towards the wall and not her body, so I wasn't putting enough inside leg on her. So that's something that I really want to focus on this lesson, is I want to make sure her entire body is against the wall and into the corners and not just tipping her nose in. Another issue that I struggled with Pumpkin the last time that I rode her was getting her to move forward and to maintain a consistent pace and to stay moving forward. She may have just been having a little bit of a lazy day that day, because that's not typically an issue that I experience whenever I ride Pumpkin. And every time that I would ask her to make a turn, she would break to a walk. Every time that I would transition to sitting trot, she would also break to a trot. And I really wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to happen this time. From the moment that I got on Pumpkin and we started walking, I knew that this lesson was going to be different, because she had her usual power walk, her strut and her stuff. Pumpkin is kind of a turn heads when she enters the room kind of gal. So I was happy to see that she was, you know, kind of like back to her normal self. And once we started trotting, it was quite easy to get her to trot. She was turning off quite easily when I asked her to turn. She felt a little bit like she was slowing down a little bit, so I just had to put on a little bit of leg and give her some clucks just to make sure that she didn't stop to walk when we were making any circles or turns. She responded much better to my leg when pushing her into the corners. I also think that I'm just better at doing that now. You guys gave some really useful tips, which I have been applying in my lessons, and it seems to have been working.
Your pinky's
Okay, for some reason I have this really bad habit of riding with my pinkies sticking straight out, and ever since I started watching videos of me riding, I am absolutely mortified that that's what I look like.
Let's do some half sit on your long sides, F to M, H to K. Half sit, stretch the heels.
So the first exercise that we are practicing is our half seat against the long sides of the arena, really making sure that we're getting a nice deep stretch into our heels and we're staying balanced. Pumpkin. That was a big trip. What happened? Was it something I did, or? So that was a little scary, not gonna lie. I've never had a horse have such a big trip like that before for like half a second. I thought maybe that we were both going down, but she has quick feet. She managed to pick herself back up. So I'm really happy she didn't dump me on that. So I just gave her a second to walk it off, gave her lots of pats, and then we continued to do our half seat when she had a moment to kind of collect herself.
In between your half seat long sides, let's do posting tuck circle over pink pole.
Okay, so now when we come down to the near end of the arena, we're going to practice a circle over the pink pole. So I did set her up really poorly for that pole. She did actually refuse to go over it. I turned into it way too soon, so we were kind of at the edge of it, and she wasn't really having it going over it. I tried putting inside leg on her, and I gave her a little tap on her shoulder, and this is where things kind of start to go downhill. When I asked her to pick up the trot, you can see that she seems way more anxious. Her head is very high, she looks super tense, and she's rushing quite a bit. It was time for us at this point to change diagonals and to continue with sitting trot. And you can see right away when I asked her to pick up the trot again, head is super high, super rushed, and super tense.
Pumpkin wool.
It was at this moment I decided to ditch the crop. I definitely didn't need it, and it probably wasn't doing me any favors. If it wasn't totally steady against my leg and it was waving around, that could be causing Pumpkin to be super rushed and anxious.
Can I try my lap of sitting? Because I missed that.
So when we were supposed to do our lap of sitting trot, I had decided to just do posting because she was way too rushed, and I wanted to try and control her pace with the speed of my post, and I couldn't do that if I was doing sitting trot.
Easy, Pumpkin. Easy, girl. Good girl, that's better. Good girl, that's better. That's better. You're good. Good girl.
So you can see how much better that trot was. She seemed way more relaxed this time around.
Let's work over your sleeves and your body hold. That's a nice stretch there. Now she's relaxing.
I think the crop was freaking her out. I was probably waving it.
Could be.
Good girl. Okay, more trot. Good girl.
So I definitely think the crop was just a little too much for her. I usually don't use a crop when I ride Pumpkin, but the girl who was riding her in the lesson before me was using one, and the last time I rode Pumpkin, I definitely wish I had a crop. Usually I don't need it, and this is why. So ditching the crop was a really good idea. She's way more relaxed now. We can actually get a nice even trot. Now we are just working on our 3 blue trot poles and making sure that we are holding 2-point as we go over. Lately, I've really been trying to get the correct diagonal the second I come out of 2-point or half seat. It can be a little bit challenging to get it on the first try, but I always make sure to switch it as soon as possible if I don't get it right away.
She's so fast today. I'm always in everyone's bum.
So now it was time for us to get ready to canter, and I wasn't sure what to expect with this. I've cantered Pumpkin before, and she's got a really nice, relaxed, collected canter, but I wasn't sure if that's what was going to happen today based on her trot from earlier. So that was an absolutely lovely canter, very calm, very collected, and very smooth.
Good job, Pumpkin. That was lovely. Thank you.
If you remember, Pumpkin is an OTTB, so previously when I would canter her, I would only go left because she needs help picking up her right lead, but today my trainer has told me to go to the right, so that must mean that I'm good enough to help Pumpkin out now. So I want to make sure that I'm asking her to pick up the canter in the corner, as she's much more likely to pick up the correct lead that way.
Nice.
So we actually got the right lead on the very first try, which is pretty cool. But it's so crazy that her canter going to the left can be so comfortable and so lovely, but going to the right is extremely uncomfortable. It feels very different. But we are finishing off our lesson with a nice little walk down the driveway. I think one of my favorite absolute things in this entire world, and I feel like every equestrian would agree, is the sound of hooves on the pavement. It is just the most satisfying, calming, it's the best sound ever.
What do we do now, Sheriff?
So that concludes our lesson for this evening, and Pumpkin and I had a much better lesson than the last time we rode together. Although we had different issues this time, I think we ended on a really good note, and I think I corrected a lot of the mistakes I made last time and the areas that I wanted to improve in. So making progress, that's always a good thing. After dismounting, of course, I'm going to loosen my girth immediately and roll up my my stirrups just so that they don't get caught on anything. I'm going to head into the barn where I'm going to untack Pumpkin. Pumpkin is going to have her dinner, and then after she eats, I'll give her a groom. Just want to make sure that I get rid of any sweat spots.
You figured it out.
Excuse me? What? Back up. Back up. Good girl.
And this was a cute little moment. The entire barn was silent except for the sounds of horses eating. Everyone was having their dinner. I don't know, I just thought it was so funny. Thank you guys so much for watching another one of my Ride With Me videos. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!